Again, you may raise your hands if you have questions, and the microphone will be handed to you. Okay, here.
Hi guys, just want to ask your whole thoughts on your team performance so far in the tournament. Um, what have you learned like in previous matches, and can you tell us like how can you improve, perhaps?
Well, we're a team that doesn't really practice, so maybe future events we should do that.
And you guys?
For us, we actually came into this tournament with like two different lineup. Like when
Mm.
in Singapore qualifier, we were actually playing with two other players.
Mhm.
So this is actually our first ever tournament together. We've been practicing for only like 2 or 3 months, but I feel like we had a slow start, and I think like in a team settings, right? I feel like the first tournament is like LAN, and I feel like it's a bit very rough for us. I think, but individually, like all of us have like different experience. But the thing is, as a team, we didn't really have a LAN experience together. I mean, it's not really an excuse, but I feel like we had a slow start. I feel like our performance when we had the first game against Toda, I think it was also a slow start. But I think we didn't really perform like how we used to on screens, right? So yeah, I think we'll definitely come back stronger, and yeah, we'll still continue practicing. Yeah.
Mm. And what particular team did you expect to actually win against? And do you think you did your best during those times?
Honestly, on our group stage, I mean, on our group, I think
Mhm.
all of us expect to only be able to fight with. I mean, like we should trash everyone other than Team Secret, right? Like to be honest, right? But in the end, I think when we were fighting the ex orangutan, they're called No Salary Pig. I think something just happened to all of us, and I think God was on their side. I feel because we actually practiced with them like online on Scream, and
Mm.
they never really could touch us, to be honest. But only um, only on this match, it was actually very shocking to us. Like, oh, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we have to accept the defeat. But I feel like if we have a rematch, I think our team will be still confident. It's just one of those days, if God is on your side, if God is on your side, right? So yeah, so we actually was excited to fight Team Secret, and we wanted to win Team Secret badly. Yeah.
All right. And you guys, since the losses that you got from these matches, recent ones, what particular thing did you learn from it aside from, of course, practicing?
I feel like a big thing that we all learn is you just need to be able to be like comfortable being uncomfortable because the setups are very different from being at home. So I think for a lot of us, it's like our first international event. I think only me and Noz have been to an international event before. So the other three, it's very, very new. The whole environment, just even just with having people watch you play, it makes them very nervous. So I think just getting that experience and really just learning from it, and just next time we'll be able to come back and just be a bit more comfortable and know what to expect.
Did you expect to win against, like in your bracket alone? Did you have a team that you were targeting? Ah, we can beat these guys.
I think we honestly could have beaten any single one of those teams in our group. We were pretty confident going into it. Like we were up, I think 11 to like 8 against Oasis, and then we choked it, and we lost 13-11. But there were so many rounds that could have gone our way. We just like I said, we don't practice too much because in Australia the support isn't really there. There's like one org that really supports teams, and so it's like most of us work full-time jobs. So this is just like a thing on the side for us. So it's hard to put a lot of time into it, but overall, we're still. I think Australia has a lot to offer, especially like in the top end. There's a lot of talented players, so I think even with our minimal practice, I think we put up a great fight, and we honestly could have played. If we played a little bit better, I think we honestly could have made it out of the group for sure.
What was the last map that you played in, and do you think it was a disadvantage for you guys?
So the last map.
Yes.
So we played Lotus was the last map against Fab, and I think we kind of screwed up the veto a little bit. I think we could have maybe played it a bit more towards our strengths rather than what we thought might have been their bad map. So I think in future we might just play to. I think we'll play to our strengths rather than to their weakness and just be comfortable. Yeah.
All right, thank you. And how about you guys? What was the last map that you played in?
We were fighting against Team Secret on Haven.
Ah.
Yeah, so I think. Sorry, what was the question?
What was the last map, and how did you guys feel playing in that map? Was it an advantage for you, or was it a disadvantage? But Haven is pretty much like the common played map, right?
I think Haven is one of our map pool, so I think we were actually confident. So I guess there's the one advantage is that we know that how actually Team Secret play because we've been watching them for the past 2 games and they've been playing only Haven, right? So I think especially on our defender side, we actually know what they're gonna do, right? So I think when it comes to the attacker side, I feel like they had a lot of like clutches rounds and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, they are a team that has been together for quite some time, way longer than us, right? So to be honest, they have way more expectation than us, right? Because yeah, they are the only franchise team and they're the whole team. So for us, I think we didn't really do pretty bad. I mean, yeah, I think we did pretty decent, even though it's like 13-7.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like our team was still shocked when we lost to the second team, I felt. But yeah, I think we actually show some of our performance on against Team Secret, which is kind of like, I feel it's okay, yeah. But yeah, I just feel like yeah, our team isn't something like to be messed with in the future, I guess. Yeah.
Do you think they were like dwarfing themselves during the skirmishes, the screens before the game?
Sorry, what?
Do you think they were like smurfing themselves during the practice games and then just showing up very prepared during the actual match?
I think the thing is because all of us have different teams previously.
Yeah.
So for us, like when we scream against franchise team, usually they will just show their strength. They don't honestly. They just practice their sets. They don't actually like purposely lose and stuff. But their mentality as a franchise team, they are like they are just playing to practice, not for the win, right? So yeah, so you can actually roughly, generally like know how like their play style as a team. Yeah, in their practice.
All right, that's all for me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. I think we have time for more questions. Here you go. Okay. Here.
Thank you. I'm Ikegami from Japan. May I ask Antique? Australia has similar environment to Japan, so I think quite same for Scream to foreign countries are difficult as well. So I want to know, how do you usually practice? Only domestic or use VPN?
So in Australia, because we're quite far away from any other region really, we have 2 options. Either we can scrim the local teams in Australia, but the quality isn't really there. There's maybe like 3 good teams, and the top 3 teams don't usually want to scrim each other because like that's like our only competition to go to like Ascension and other qualifiers. So the other option that we do is we do scrims on SG, but we're playing on 120 ping. So that's pretty much what a lot of the top teams do. But it's pretty annoying to play just because it's very laggy and it's like that. Honestly, it's their only option. But what like me personally have been pushing with organizations, I always like when signing contracts, I always try to get them to include boot camps in like Thailand or somewhere in Asia, so we can actually get over there and scrim like franchise teams. So that's like a big thing that I want like Australian teams to really be pushing for, is to get into Asia for like a good practice for maybe like 2 weeks even before events or qualifiers. I think that's really important. But yeah, in terms of locally, like pretty much 90% of the teams don't have that opportunity because there's only like 2 orgs that actually like invest in Australia, because it's just like the talent's there, but the viewership really isn't because it's such a small region. But yeah, the practice is it's pretty tough. It's very different from any other region just because where we're located. Like we're just so far away from everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Predator League. How is it different or similar to the competitions that you played in? And what do you think is the most difficult part in playing here? Thank you.
So for the three of us sitting here, it is very different because we've never been to a LAN before. Australia has had one Valorant LAN since Valorant came out, I think, and it was a pretty small event. So I think the main difficulty is just adjusting to the new setups and not being in the comfort of my own home where I've always been playing the tournaments. So that has been my main difficulty adjusting that.
I think also for this event, I think it's pretty brutal having the best of one format for the group stage. I think it's like you can have one, like in a lot of these groups, if you just have one bad game, you're pretty much, your chances of going to the playoffs is pretty much gone. It's like, I think maybe in future, if they do maybe the top two teams from each group, if they want to keep it best of one or just make it BO3 and the top team goes to, I think it's a bit more forgiving and it makes, I think it makes it a bit more interesting too, because it's just very stressful on like every team. Especially even like Team Secret, if they just have one bad game, or boom, like these guys are the favorites for win the event. But like even though they could have one bad game, and the chances to go to the playoffs are gone. And it's like you always want to have the best teams in the playoffs, in my opinion. So it's like giving those extra maps just to get the chance there. But for me, because I was at Ascension last year for Australia, and I think it's this event, like just the location and the management, I think it's actually being run a lot better. It's a lot more exciting and feels a bit more professional, I think. So it's been an extremely good experience for me.
I think I can safely say for our whole team, I think this Predator League has been amazing, beautiful. I think it's been well planned, organized. I think I agree with Tim. I think like the format was actually I feel like it doesn't make sense because usually a group stage is supposed to be top two and it's supposed to be a like BO3 and especially like as if it's on land, right? That's why I think that was the only issues that we faced. But I think thank you to Predator for organizing such a nice and organized event and tournament. Yeah.
Thank you so much.